audible.
Hey everybody, this is Grimcad. We are here with some Dungeons and Dragons. We are playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and we are playing the module of the Tomb of Annihilation. I go by Grimcad. I am a player in this campaign. I am playing Riyadh Day, the Bee Druid. Joining me are several of my friends who will introduce themselves shortly, who they are, who they're playing. Really, that's probably about it. We're just going to go straight down the line this time, so... Oh, that was the prompt for you to do it without me actually prompting.
No,
You've let me down.
I don't know who's down the line.
I don't know who's down mine either.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, to be fair, I think it randomizes for each person.
No, does it?
I don't know. It goes me, you, Demikos, Greg, and then M keeps flicking in between Greg and Nezu.
Well,
Okay, no, because mine says the same thing,
Yeah.
so that must be me.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm the letdown. Oh
Yeah.
no. I am Damokos. I used to be Roland. I'm Mufasa. Bad at introductions as well.
No.
And now Greg's the failure.
Oh, okay. Alright. My name is Greg. I play a cleric, and I do cleric things.
What's your cleric's name?
Name is Jake.
Cleric.
Would that be M or I next? Because she sort of blinks into existence.
Well, since
from
you're
time to
talking,
time.
how about you go ahead?
Imagine just like not saying who should be next.
Da-da-da.
Stay
Yeah, you
here.
make a fair point.
I'm talking to Grim.
Oh, jeez. Well, see, I like the awkward, energy that's in the room right now. It's like we're all, the first day of college, and we're all sort of, meeting our roommates for the very first time, and you're just kind of shuffling
more
around,
like
and
we're
you're
all
like, hey.
So we gotta do this every week.
You
Gotcha.
and the
So, hello.
things.
So I'm Spoony, and I play Nezu Moonspark, a halfling monk. And I'll do monk things, maybe. Or not, or do horrific plans.
Just gonna sit
Gosh,
here and
Nikki, why don't you say something?
Oh, thanks, Grim. Thanks for the cue. Now I know that to exist. Hello, everyone. I'm Nikki. I play. Who do I play in this game? Because I don't actually know my name. I play Ellen White.
And I am the DM, 420 MYK. I'm a player in the other campaign, and I'm the DM here, and I'm, I guess, running the show.
Do you have is it like a thing where some DMs are like, I personify the god of
No,
nation?
no. I'm not a god. I'm just the storyteller, really.
The
You
god
guys,
of foreplay.
you guys are the change of force in the world. Nothing happens without you guys.
That's
True
like a
enough.
really narcissistic approach to DMing if you do
It
that.
really is. Yeah, it's like the worst kind of DM you can be. I am God. This is my world. But
But I mean,
No.
it's true.
essentially yes. But we can't admit to it, or else you have to feel bad.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of being the god of this world, I can see nothing of this world. Is that meant to be just a black screen?
Your token
Bottom
mail is
left
set up
corner
because
now.
you were not here last week, so I
Oh.
have vision of everything anyway. What is your stats for vision?
God,
Uh,
vision.
I have dark vision.
Yes, to what feet?
Probably 60.
60 feet. Yes,
60.
it is.
Like undergrounders seeing forever.
I mean, I hate to break the news, Grim. I have 120.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I don't have enhanced.
Can you see that now?
I can see now.
Okay, good.
I can just see everything.
Right, so last we left off, we had travelled with the goblin village that we have been helping through this goblin war, or some of us have been, others have only just joined us, where you were kind of helping them get at least part of the way towards Nyanzaru to help them get a bit more settled closer to civilization, to help them, because they were a bit friendlier and everything. You thought maybe they could do some trading with humans or whatever, but on the way you ended up watching as our halfling Nezu ended up screaming past you lot, being chased by some kind of really strange, horrific looking frog hemoth, which chased the lot of you and scattered the goblins. You ran for quite a while until you came across some ruins where a woman kind of motioned you down into some shelter away from said frog hemoth, where you discovered this almost dungeon area, which you found to be inhabited by a couple of mages, or a mage and his apprentice anyway, and their creations. We spent a while talking to them and then exploring their kind of lab areas and talking to their imp familiars and such, and I believe that's where we left off.
I believe so.
Indeed.
Pretty much. We're all just awkwardly, chilling with the dead bodies, or the not so dead bodies.
The
Yeah,
two
well,
bodies.
they have been unmoving the entire time, but you'd assume they would be at least in some form of
They don't
living or
like
unliving.
twitch every now and then.
Nah, it seems like the fluid that fills the kind of stasis chambers almost seems to be completely solid or jelly-like, but there's no movements or anything inside the tubes themselves.
I like it. If I tap on the glass, do they get scared?
Nope, no reaction whatsoever. Whether their eyes are closed or open, they won't flicker or move. They just kind of stare off into the distance at nothingness. They just seem to be floating body pieces that have been sewn together at this stage.
And I would turn to the others, and I think I've seen enough of whatever this is. Well, I have no particular hate towards the undead. This is taking things almost a step too far. I whatever it is they're doing, as I've mentioned to the master of this place, it doesn't exactly sit well with me. I think I'll be trying to find somewhere to bed down, and then trying to keep my head down until we can leave, hopefully in the morning.
There's an extra chamber if you'd like to sleep in it. I can point to the one behind you with another one in it.
I think I'll pass.
You would probably remember that the master did tell the apprentice to prepare some quarters or something akin to it for you guys. There was definitely, you've passed enough rooms and seen enough doors to know that there would be enough space, assuming that there's not labs dotted all over the map or anything.
Right. Well, I'm going to wander off and attempt to find one of the said rooms.
That is fine.
You
would probably actually encounter Chrysot walking out of this one here, as he would probably have just finished preparing them for you at this stage, actually. You didn't spend a super long time. Like, I know we spent a couple hours, technically, out of game in that lab room, but in game it would have only been 20, 30 minutes, probably, between looking around and talking to the imp. And he'd come out and, with his, replacing his hood over his head, and he'd say, "Oh, there's beds, or at least as close as could be considered beds, in this room for you lot. It's not much more than bundled hay, I'm afraid. And you'd see through the doors that it is indeed just bundled hay in kind of piles along the back wall.
Well, not to worry. Anything in being safe is a million times better than nothing in being in danger.
It give a kind of, or you'd see the hood of his robe moving enough to register that he's probably nodding underneath it, and he'd say, "Oh, this is a very good point, and that thing did sound rather scary."
Scary is only the tip of the iceberg, my friend. It was horrific. I hope that I never see it or anything like it again.
He just kind of gives a little shrug and, "Oh, it is Chult, unfortunately, so who knows what else might exist out there."
Chult, I've gotten something used to seeing. This was certainly not natural even to this land.
Oh, well, fair enough, I suppose. If you wish to rest, I will come and get you and your party in an hour or two when the meal is ready.
Thank you. I certainly know that I'll be spending some time resting. I can't necessarily speak for my companions, but...
And as he would continue to walk off down this direction, he would stop and turn and, "Remember, please stay out of the northwest-most lab." And then continue off across another bridge akin to all the rest you have seen and crossed before now.
I'm
I'm looking at a black screen bar.
You weren't here either, so you do not have vision.
So sad.
Oh no, it's because your light walked away.
Oh no.
No one followed their light.
Yeah, I believe Brim is currently the one who's actually glowing.
I don't know where the light went, but I can see it.
Yeah,
Over here.
Yeah, well,
it's over there. Oh, it's up. Actually, I don't know where it went now either.
Grim is over here.
Because they were talking about rest, so I probably actually would have gone.
so there's some fumbling through the darkness and everything. 'Cause those who can't quite see properly or can't see it all in the darkness get left behind by Grim, who's shuffled out of the lab a lot quicker than the rest of you, probably not even thinking about it. And
So
then
rude.
I was
guys-
looking at the zombies.
I mean, what are people doing? Is everyone going to rest? I notice Alan's not moving. Is that for a
I mean,
particular reason?
I would maybe like sit here and just sort of like. I mean, I know Grim tried to read the notes. He couldn't read it. I assume that I wouldn't really be able to decipher any of it either.
If you want to give me a check, you can give me a check for basically any skill you want. And mean-
Diplomacy.
I don't think there is diplomacy.
Intimidation.
But no, like
No.
Arcana or History or anything.
Those are the things I'm good at. How about? Sure, I'll do Arcana.
And with a 20, you'd be able to find quite a few notes to do with various magical formula and processes. You'd find notes on the different stasis chambers, and you'd find out that each one is actually inside it, aside from the fluid, which the best you can glean from the notes, from a magical sense anyway, is that there seems to be some pumps under each of the tubes, but it's almost unnecessary because there's also spells enlaced within the entire contraption, for lack of a better word, that create a perfect stasis chamber inside each of them. So you could cast the likes of a fireball inside of one of these and it would not breach the shell or the glass.
I'm willing to test that theory.
You are
But-
willing or you're not willing?
No, that was a joke. But I don't think I actually know Firefall either, so I don't. But regardless, after that, I guess I would probably head off. Well, which I don't quite know where the
Did someone say
chambers of rest.
fireball?
I thought they had Fireball. Oh, look, nice little beds. What is this wall, out of curiosity? Is this an actual like grate?
Oh, it's just a big solid stone wall up to where the door is, and then it's just
We just happen to be
standard.
able to see through it. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't put the
That's fine.
thing
I just didn't know
across
if it
there.
was like a see-through or something like that.
No,
Eventually,
I
would
think
probably-
originally it was meant to be like a stable or something like that, and that's why I left it out of there because it was just going to be like a half fence. But then I was like, wait, no, better use for the room.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Eventually I would come in. Well, it's been a long day for me, walking through the jungle, sitting in the hot weather. What's the temperature like in these parts?
It's actually in here. Surprisingly, it's quite warm. You would have thought with the giant chasm and everything, there'd be basically all warmth that gets sucked out, but it seems to be a pretty comfortable temperature under here, even though above it was still quite cold, and the tail end of the storm was still present above there.
Interesting. Well, I'd probably sort of grab my stuff, take to like a corner, sort of a little bit away from the rest, but not like too close or anything. And I would just
Yeah.
sort of lay down for the night. Well, I assume everyone else is asleep. You gotta look around, and they'd either be doing idle stuff or whatnot. But eventually, I would go to sleep as well.
Yeah, I mean, Rio.
Is it late? Out of curiosity, like in
Um,
the night,
by this
or I
point,
guess we're
it
waiting
would-
for dinner. Correct?
Yeah, it's late afternoon, early evening, so I mean,
Well,
you'd
if we were expecting dinner, I would just be doing idle stuff until then.
yeah, you'd be fatigued, but not necessarily like sleepy tired by this point.
Making like idle talk with the others.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you guys have anything in character you guys want to discuss or talk about, or we can just hand wave it and say Chris.
Maybe like at a future time, because I don't want to have us talk like in this room for like the entire session. So
Yeah.
there's certainly time
then-
for.
After probably 2.5, almost 3 hours, Chrisot would knock on the door, opening it, and say, come to the chamber where you met the master earlier. We will be eating there tonight." And then he would continue back off down the hallway.
I'd follow it. Oh,
I suppose it would be
And I probably know it.
Might be a good idea.
incredibly rude to turn down his invitation.
But
you
we need a
sound
lot.
thrilled.
But you might need to follow Radad. Because seeing as he's the only light source for everyone.
I am going to give Dressot a light source quickly, so you guys can talk in the light in this room, because this room would be lit up because it's
The light
obviously,
it burns.
obviously they noticed, and the apprentice himself, is human, and they would have noticed that not your entire party are night vision creatures.
Yeah. Is the bee coming to dinner with us
Why,
as
not
well?
all of you are ready. That is one sort of thing we didn't really discuss for 20. Does it remain indefinitely, or does it still have
No,
duration?
it still has its duration,
it
and
would
at
definitely be
at,
gone
it's, at the end of at the end of its duration, it would just disappear as any other Feywild
Mm-hmm.
does, just basically with a pop, and it blinks out of existence. But there would be extra seats brought in. There would be 6 stone, almost throne-like looking seats with Drift sitting at one at the head of the table, and then there would be extra wooden seats brought in to make up the numbers, except for the one short, which Chrisot would be. But yeah, so there would be 1 wooden seat, I believe, looking at my numbers, and Chrisot does not have a seat. But on the table in front of you, the notes from before have been cleared, and there is what looks like quite, it's not a ginormous feast of kingly proportions, but you know, they've obviously made some effort to make sure it's catered to at least most tastes. There's fruits, vegetables, a couple of different types of meat. As far as you can tell, neither of them are particularly good butchers by any means. It's kind of just chunks of meat, but you can tell by the different textures and flavors that they've at least found or killed or possibly even made some different types of creatures to feed you.
Of course, I'd be first here. Wait for the others. Thank them both for, their hospitality and fine food presented to us.
Drith would nod and say, "It is fine," and wave his hand across the table, motioning for you guys to get started. Seems to be waiting for you guys to serve yourselves, kind of just laid out, banquet style.
God, it's poisoned. He's waiting for us to eat
I
it first.
know.
I'm being suspicious about this food. Is it?
No, like this. Basically, he's waiting for you guys to start serving. The second you guys pick up a plate and start serving your plate, he'll do the same and start serving himself. Or more importantly, Chrysot will do it for him, and then Chrysot would, after getting his dish ready, proceed to walk around the table and offer everyone glasses of drink of their preference.
I'd just take a water. But, I'd grab a nice hearty mix of, like, fruits, vegetables, meats. Maybe not fruits, because fruits aren't really a dip thing. But it's a dessert.
Is everything, like, recognizable on the table?
In what?
Like, food sense?
In
Like,
what
something
way?
I've seen before? Or is it different, exotic?
Like I said, there's all types of, basic tropical fruits that you'd expect to find in the jungle. Some bananas and oranges. There's some fruits and vegetables that you may or may not have seen before that are a bit more exotic. The meat is like, none of the pieces of meat you could pick up and be like, this is elk or this is this. But each of them, is a different type of meat, and you're pretty sure it's meat.
Sure.
Is there like a red meat and a white meat?
Yes, but again, like, not necessarily definable as such. Like, the white meat might taste like red meat. That's
I would make sure that I got a red meat and a white meat if there was both.
yeah. There'd definitely be different types of meat, including what you would assume would be closer to a large frog or something. Its meat's a lot more gel-like and kind of squishes in your mouth as opposed to falling apart like a normal rump steak or something would.
Yeah, I'd probably take
Give me the
very
squishy
sparingly
thing.
of whatever, but probably a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
would
Frith would be eating in rather silence. He would, if you addressed him or talked to him, obviously talk to you, but he's not exactly focused on his meal and not exactly being rude to you guys, but you get the feeling that it's pretty obvious they're not used to visitors, so he's kind of just wanting to be hospitable and not be rude and talk too much or anything like that.
Well, I asked him about, like, some of the meats, fruits, like, some of the things I didn't recognize. Like, oh, what's this thing? Just to,
And
sort of, like,
depending...
break the silence.
Yeah, and depending how many things you asked about, you'd get various answers from normal dinosaurs and other creatures that you'd usually hunt in these jungles. If you pressed hard enough and held up one of the more, let's say, exotic-looking meats, he'd kind of just give a short nod towards Chrysot.
I wouldn't fret, mostly just there because,
Yeah.
have a nice lighthearted conversation about things.
And things would pass by well. It would be a good meal. No one's got exhaustion or anything like that, right?
I don't believe so.
No.
I can't remember, yeah.
Well, I don't think so. At least I don't.
So after the meal is finished, he'll just look at you lot and say, well, you are, of course, free to stay at least the night, possibly longer if it doesn't leave soon. You know what we've asked as long as you stay here. Besides that, enjoy your stay, make free use of my laboratory, and if you need anything, come find me or more preferably Crisot.
Well, thank you for your hospitality. It certainly means something out here in the middle of Chalt. Perhaps something more than in more civilized lands.
And he'd give a very knowing nod to that.
How long have you guys just been out here? Of course, it's quite middle of nowhere.
Well, myself, I came out here from the Underdark. This is many decades ago. I've honestly lost count. I'm not an old elf by any means, but I'm not young either. And Crisot, he's only been out here maybe 5 or 6 years since I got him. I heard tales and stories of what he could do, and it interested me. If I'm quite honest, he's probably lucky that he piqued my interest and not someone else's. He was, well, doing the wrong things when I found him, and he'd pull back the hood and point to the heavily scarred half the face. If it wasn't for me, this would have claimed his entire body. And Crisot would look absolutely downcrest and just completely shattered by this. Basically, the second the hood's whipped off, his any small smile he had on his face that you might see a quick flash of quickly disappears in complete shame and sadness.
A constructed disease?
No, it was more of a, he was trying to apply what he does to living creatures to elements, and they didn't react well. They reacted very violently, and imagine a cannon being filled up with sand, turned red hot, and then fired against your face. That was what was happening basically every second for, I think he experienced it, a minute. Basically got his face sandblasted off.
Let's see.
And yeah, basically the second Drith's hand drops from the hood and lets go of it, Crisot would flick it back up and hide right back into it.
While I've never experienced something myself, I've certainly heard stories of what happens when the elemental powers are invoked without the proper safety measures put in place. But that's youth. One lives and one learns.
Yes, well, this one's very lucky he did the former.
Indeed.
And he is still doing the latter. But at this point, he would, if there was nothing else to be said, he would be starting to pull out his notes again. While this conversation had been going on before, his hood was pulled down, Crisot had been going around the table clearing it, at least the parts around Drith, to clear space for his notes, which quickly get pulled out and replace the plates in front of him.
Well, I, for one, I suppose I shall intrude no further upon your time. Thank you again for the meal and the hospitality.
Drith would give a nod, and it is fine. enjoy your stay as much as you need, and I shall see you in the morning.
I, at the very least.
Riyadh would be off.
Yep.
I'd probably stay a bit longer.
As I walk away from the table, I thank him for the lavish feast, and thank you for the hospitality.
I will also thank him for the food and leave.
And yeah, he'd basically do the same, give a short nod and a how do you do, good night to each of you as you pass.
Good night.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Tuck you in.
Albeit
I would
for-
stay and I'd probably talk to him a bit, but I, eventually would probably get the message that he doesn't really talk much and he would just want to do his notes.
yeah,
So I
like,
end up like,
if there was anything specific you would want to ask him or anything, you can feel free to ask, and he would be more than likely to talk with you and everything. But if it's general chit chat and stuff, he'd give shorter answers and be very
well,
much
maybe a
more
little bit
interested in
about like the
notes.
whole, stuff he does here, but it's nothing I'm too knowledgeable in and all that. So like, it would just be like basic
you'd find-
stuff. And
You'd find out he's pretty set in his magic, and he's pretty much at the point where he can reach in his life. So his point at the moment is more focusing on Chrysot and making sure Chrysot develops both, as a person and as a magic user, making sure that, this kid doesn't end the world at the same time.
and wish him best in luck in his endeavors to not in the world.
Yeah. And then he would go back to poring over his notes.
I'd take my glass of water with me.
And would everyone be going to sleep at this point?
Well, I would say
Yeah, more
that
or less.
someone should go and at least speak with River and appraise her
Who's
of the
River?
situation and find out what the situation with the frog key myth is.
I don't know who River is.
River Mist,
That's
is
an
it?
in-character thing.
Tabaxi.
The,
The other
the
one
Tabaxi who's keeping an eye on her brother.
that waited at
Oh,
the
like I know out of
stairs.
character, but like in character.
Yeah. Her name is River Mist. But
Have we met them before?
you did.
Yeah,
Well,
you guys ran with her.
in character
Sure,
though.
sure.
I would say
Do
that.
you not remember the other female Tabaxi that was with us?
I'd probably say no because it was a very brief moment that we met, and the situation was quite tense at the time.
Yeah, to be fair, there's every chance Owen, could have even not seen her. She was probably at the bottom of the stairs for all of 10 seconds before she would have been like, I'm going to wait here if you guys are going to explore, and then you guys went straight to exploring.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot of things on my mind.
either way, I'm going to go speak with her and find out the whereabouts of that beast. Is that a thing that you want me to
Try not to let it.
go ahead and do, or can we just hand wave that?
You would.
I don't mind either way.
No, yeah, we can hand wave it. You'd go up. Should still be waiting there. You would actually need to find Chrysot, who would be down in the labs, to use the exit teleporter. It seems that to activate it, it needs someone touching two of the statues, their shoulders in between them. But he would do that for you. So you would end up coming up to the stairs again, and what would you be telling her about? What would you be saying?
I'd give her the. Well, this place is occupied by a necromancer of seemingly some power, perhaps not ambition, but he knows what he's doing, and I begin to talk about the details. And his apprentice, who, while untrained, seems even more powerful, and again, I'd sort of go into details. Personally, well, the necromancy I can stand. The young lad's ability, I don't care much for. But
Would you explain what the apprentice's ability was? She would probably look very worried at that.
Indeed.
And if you questioned her about it, she would make comment on how it's basically completely unnatural in playing God as a mortal.
More or less my sentiments exactly. I cautioned his master, at the very least, about their the balance of things, but I get the impression it somewhat went in one ear and out the other.
They seem pretty self-assured.
Indeed.
But that would be fine. River would prefer not to come in between waiting to see if she hears from her or sees her brother, and also after finding out that there's possible a lot of undead and other things, she would definitely take the opportunity to just stay where she can escape easily.
And, you know, worst comes to worst, I would tell her that somebody has to operate the teleporter for us to get out as well.
Yep. But that also seems to be a only on that side thing. So someone would be staying behind in that case.
Has the Froghemoth moved on, or is it still...
She would tell you that it is... You wouldn't hear it currently at the moment, but she would tell you that it's still in the area at least. It's not like in the direct area, say the ruins if you went out into the overmap or anything, but it's still close enough that it's probably not the best to move at night.
The thing that I really hope is that there's no connection between that creature and these people, but perhaps it's paranoia on my end, but I do worry that there is a connection.
But she'd still be fit and healthy. She would, though, ask you if you had any food for her. If you were able to maybe give her a good berry or some honey or something, because she does not have rations and has not eaten all day and does not want to go hunting by herself with that thing around.
I'm normally good berry people in the morning, but, you know, I'd certainly be willing to do so again now.
Yeah. And yeah, she did have good berry, good honey in the morning, but yeah, she would still be asking.
It'll be good till this time tomorrow.
Yeah. And she would be happy with that and tell you to enjoy your night and hope that it's at least going to be somewhat comfortable if it's, you know, habited. She's probably herself expecting, you know, there's half decent beds or something there for you guys. She's probably not expecting you guys to have worse than your bedrolls, but yeah. Should
indeed, although I believe I'll be somewhat on edge tonight.
Yeah. You get the feeling she's like it's the same kind of wishing you well for the night as you would if you had gotten the better hotel room over your mate. But then yes, you would come back, I assume, through the teleporter.
Yes.
And come back to the party. Weird. Damokos, is there a reason you are up there?
I don't know. I don't know where I am.
You're
I
up
just looked up
I'm here,
and I was somewhere where I do not know where I am.
You were in the teleport room. Is it shift pin?
Yeah.
To move everyone? Yeah. Now everyone's back in your current little room. So, sooner or later, whenever you would end up going to sleep, you would go to sleep. I don't know if you guys want to set watches or anything. You feel pretty safe. And I mean,
I would want to set
if
a
you were
watch.
going,
I mean, I would
yeah,
strongly.
Yeah, that's what I was about to-
I mean, there's this flesh golem that seems to keep patrolling past you guys.
Well,
So
Exactly.
he's a pretty good watch.
That's assuming the flesh golem
That-
stays watching and not doing.
That's assuming the flesh golem's not the thing we need to be keeping a watch on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, then give me your watches.
Sure.
We'll give 3 of them. Just
Unless,
3
like, I were to
tokens.
get pressed for it, I would sort of be, like,
Oh my
sleeping.
gosh.
That's
I
fine.
have terrible
Oh,
perception.
I think I can do one sec.
The flesh golem just beats your ass.
So, at some point during the night, we'll say during Jake's watch, the air, which, I mean, this whole time has been at least comfortable and warm and you know, smells clean and fresh. It all of a sudden, almost like a snap of your fingers, turns bone cold to the point where even those sleeping in their bedrolls, and you might have, you know, buried yourself in your bedroll in your robes and everything, even through as many layers as you might be wearing, it saps you straight to your bones and wakes those sleeping up. Each breath, not difficult, but it's like breathing mountainous snow air. It almost hurts a little bit with each breath.
Like a misty.
Yeah, like when it's really cold and misty, but the air is still clear. There's no mist or fog throughout the halls or anything. But those awake would just all of a sudden wake up from a comfortable warm sleep to being freezing cold and this chill biting in your lungs.
Well, I'd wake up and be like, oh, well, what's going on right now? Why is it so cold?
Does anyone mind if I burn some of this hay?
That's a good question. And no, you probably shouldn't burn the hay, but
I support a warm fire going right now.
Is there a way we could check if this is like a supernatural coldness?
Yep, you sure can. Give me an arcana. Anyone who wants to try and see if this is a weird cold or a normal cold?
I mean, being that I come from the hell that is made of cold, I may as well do a check.
Yeah.
I'll leave the checks to everyone else.
Well, a 13 would be good enough to tell you that, yeah, chances are, considering it was on set that quickly. I mean, you may, being asleep, may not have, you know, noticed any slow changes, but Jake certainly did notice. He was sitting there comfortable and warm 1 second, and then the next second it felt like his armor was a freezer. So there's a very high chance that something very magical is going on.
Natural this would be.
well, do we wander around and poke our nose about and find out what this is in case it's a threat to us? Or do we stay in our nice and not quite so warm little beds and bury our heads under the blankets?
I'll go explore.
Ignorance won't provide warmth. Ignorance.
Can't we just start a nice warm fire and just back to sleep?
If you really want to burn things in what could be a sealed underground chamber, I suppose you could be my guest, but I don't think I would recommend that, really.
You say that now, but when it's nice and warm, you'll be joining me.
Don't you have some magic spell that lets you find where the magic's coming from?
Me?
Is that
No.
directed at me?
Well, you guys-
You know I do.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was at you because I did know you do.
And while you
So-
guys are discussing, you would hear a loud crackling coming from where you would assume would be the chasm bridge in line with the teleport room, the one that didn't actually look to exist.
We see the
Like
fish hole
sort
from
of like
where
a
we are?
static.
Yeah, like the crackling of lightning.
That's it.
Whatever sound you would imagine when you imagine magic lightning being fired
Yeah,
off.
I guess well, I heard crackling. I'd sort of walk down the hall and look down towards the hallway.
And you would see the bright flash of light illuminating the entire chasm for a second as another crackle goes out.
Um,
And to answer your
It's very
question, though,
bright.
while I can do it, I cannot do so right now. That's not something I've prepared. Can
And do we see this flesh golem?
you?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
so it's like
that flesh
Miss
golem
Kim?
has basically been patrolling this entire hallway the entire time you guys have seen it. And it has not ceased this entire time.
Does anything happen as I get closer to the pit?
Not as you
Crackling?
get closer to the pit, but as you see things, you see them. And once everyone's in enough of a position,
I do see something across the chasm. I could
Yep.
say that to the people, but I don't know what I'm looking at.
How does this bridge look, by the way?
this one looks stable and secure like the rest. But if you would have
Can
to
I
look
stand
up
here?
Yeah, you can stand on that. That seems, would be even more stable than the center of the bridge, you'd imagine. It's kind of built into the wall itself. But you would see it, across the spanning gap where it looked like there should be a bridge and there's a couple of floating plinths, but nothing else. You can see Drith, Chrysot, and a third figure standing there. Give me a second to get the hand out.
Does he look a lot like he looks like?
He looks exactly like he
I
looks
see.
like. And you don't even need to make rolls or think particularly hard about it. You can tell just by sight and honestly the feeling emanating off of him that this is a lich and a very, very powerful one. The air around him itself seems to darken and almost droop to the ground before kind of dispersing again, as it seems he almost radiates death off of him. And he would turn and look at the lot of you and say, "Ah, there you are. So, now I get to lay my eyes on you. Give me just 1 second." And he would look at Drith and he would say, "Die." And Drith would do just that.
No. No.
We should probably be
Drith,
running
please.
now.
Which
Yeah.
one's Drith?
Drith is the master.
Oh.
Chrysot, the lich, has one hand on his shoulder and is holding him in place next to him. And are you saying that, Grim?
I certainly am saying that.
Well,
Yes, I
before
would.
any of you can make a turn to leave, give me a saving throw.
Which one?
A
A wisdom.
wisdom.
A wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
Are you sure a wisdom
terrible
saving
wisdom
throw?
saving throw from me.
Please
Oh.
don't say a wisdom saving throw.
Technically, that's
Oh,
one
it's-
person, I believe.
He casted at level 8.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Each of you feel as a ball kind of forms in the base of your cranium where your spine meets your skull. And then it just seems to explode out from you and you feel all your muscles seize up suddenly.
All of
And-
us?
Every single one of you.
Oh.
And he looks at you and says, No need to run so quickly. My plans
involve you, but not just yet. This is the only one I want for now, and he'd give Chrysot's shoulder a small shake.
How's Chrysot
But-
taking this, by the way?
He's basically unmoving completely. His hood's over his face. You can't see it at all between the darkness and the distance. But he's standing on his own feet. Like, it doesn't look like the Lich is holding him up or anything like
Okay,
that.
so-
But he's completely unmoving. You don't know if it's via magic or fear or anything else. But yeah, the only movement from him is from the Lich treating him like a puppet,
Yeah.
basically, and controlling him directly.
I can assume, however.
Yes. But he would continue on. I know of you. I know of your quest. My minion told me plenty and all that I need to know. It's quite interesting you think you might be able to accomplish it, and frankly, I like the idea that you think you can try. So, I'll let you try, rather than snubbing you out right now. I'll let you come find me in my home. I will warn you, though. My power obviously exceeds any mortal on the face of this or any other plane. So, it may be better if you just go home. And he'd say each of those last words with, not gusto, but he would definitely put a lot more definition and meaning into going home.
I retire. The adventuring life is too much for me.
Yeah.
This is a hard note from me, folks.
But he would give a chuckle, and then he would give a snap of his fingers, and you would feel the pressure in your bodies release. And at the same time as it released, you'd watch as a dimension door opens up behind him. For those of you that don't know what dimension door is, some of us have seen it before. Cast via a scroll, though, was last time I believe it was made. It's basically, if you've seen Doctor Strange, their teleport circles that they use, that basically appears behind him, where you see. Actually, everyone, give me a quick perception check to see if you can see anything through the other side. As
Oh.
Chrysot gets thrown through. And he does. He at this point, Chrysot basically gets lifted off his feet and thrown through.
Like suitcase style, just what?
Yeah, it's just a thing to be thrown into the next area.
No.
Well, Riod at least. Are you back, Greg? We'll see if Greg can see anything too. Where are my players? There they are. But Grim, and if Greg makes this, so Grim would see through the thing, a large temple and what looks like a misshapen fetus creature. It's quite large, and it honestly does not look like it should exist whatsoever. You only see a quick flash of it as Chrysot's thrown through, and Asirak, or the Lich, who turns around at this point and says, "My name is Asirak, and I will see you in Omu." And then he would step through, closing the gate behind him.
I shout in my head, "Where's Omu?"
Would we know where?
So when can we make another saving throw?
You don't need to.
Please,
He
yeah,
released it.
He released
released
it.
it.
Do I have enough time to point at him before he leaves?
No. Like, it's basically from the point where you gain control of your body again. He basically makes the teleport circle, throws Chrysot through, says, "I'm Asirak, come see me at Omu," and then steps through, all in like 2.5 seconds.
This is bad, and we might have to work quickly. The things we know, there was a very powerful Lich, and the person he just killed was obviously his enemy. I point to you.
Also, give
everyone give me a history roll as well, because yeah, he is kind of on the scale that with a good roll, he is something
Yeah.
that you would have heard about sooner or later.
All right.
Oh. So Rion, you happen to know about this lich. The second he says his name, another shudder runs through your body and you're almost paralyzed with fear yet again. This is the lich to end all liches.
Yeah.
He, you know, has been around for many, many, many centuries. He is in fact the one who slew and entrapped all of the 9 trickster gods of Omu. His thing is he likes to trap adventurers and particularly strong ones. So that, like all liches, their souls can be added to his phylactery. But he makes a specific point because he knows he's so powerful that, I mean, he will happily let adventurers get to the near end goal of completing their own plans before he actually steps in and does what he needs to do to ensure that it happens.
But again, as I was sort of talking, I need you and I need you to begin pouring through Dreth's notes and see if there's a way that we can quickly bring him back and have his knowledge. I'm going to go and make sure that nothing untoward happens to the body. Act quickly now. And I would head off.
Oh,
And as you pass this hallway here, from down towards the labs, you would smell a really, really bad smell of rotten eggs. And then as you came up around past the teleport circle to the north in that lab, you would also, coming from that direction, smell the same smell.
Okay.
and the flesh golem?
Is still moving, but it seems to be moving a lot more slowly. And I mean, you don't stop. Oh, I assume you don't stop to investigate very closely, but you're sure on your
No.
way past that a couple of the stitches were working themselves loose, which shouldn't really be happening even if its master is dead.
Now, which way is the northwest lab?
You're basically walking straight to it. The door's in front of you.
Yeah, well, I'm going to the place. I've been told to go look for research. I'm guessing if I'm going to find anything, it's going to be in the place we've been told not to go.
Okay.
They're not here anymore, so...
So let's go die.
So
As you walk.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
shit.
I'll address Democrats. Because basically, the second you open the door, you instantly know it was a bad idea. This is a summoning room, and although not used recently, the sigils on the ground are still very active, and you can tell by the glow of them that something, even though you cannot see it, is trapped within the circle on the ground.
So there's something in there?
You're, as a mortal looking in, it's a completely empty room. There's just a glowing circle on the ground and blood caking almost every inch of the room. As a magic user, you know that circle would not be glowing if there wasn't something for it to be glowing for. The specific runes etched in around the circle are glowing that show it's a entrapment one. It's something that, I mean, you would learn as a basic magic user, one of the first things you'd learn, because a magic user's going to try summoning sooner or later, it's usually assumed. And even good things should be trapped if they're being summoned, because not many things like being ripped away from their home.
Is there anything else in the room?
Not that you can see. A lot of blood and gore. 2 doors on these sides.
Can't see those doors, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, they're around
Can-
the corner from you.
Yeah,
I-
yeah, but
I don't want to go into the room, but I would like to say hello into the room, in all of the different languages I know. So Common, Elvish, Goblin, and Infernal. And
You'd
if it
get
understands any of those,
you'd get no tangible reply, but you get a feeling of rage and anger coming from the center of the circle. Again, it's almost like there's nothing there, but you can feel something that wants to kill everything that ever existed in the whole of eternity.
So what you're saying is opening
Someone
that
sleeping
door
for
was
the
really
night?
bad.
yeah.
I mean,
you know,
that's how it
Someone
feels to
sleeping
him. The second he opened that door, the doors must have had some kind of seal or something on them that was keeping all the bad feeling inside the room, and now it's just kind of washed out over the two of them. Like, it may or may not actually lead to bad things, depending what they do.
no, I just want to erase the room.
Yeah, I run in and scrub the runes out.
yeah. I was kind of thinking about pointing into the room and casting a cantrip and saying, "Hey, is there anything in here?"
Again, you just get the feeling.
Someone walk into the room.
I'm
No
not
one's
brave
walked
enough
in
to walk
yet.
into the room yet.
I've got a better idea. Why don't we just leave?
Yeah. How does
I
does
mean,
closing the doors again stop the bad feeling?
It's kind of. Imagine if someone had been standing on the other side of the door, yelling in your face, like just screaming into your face, and then you close the door in the face. It's still there, but there's something between you. It's almost like the door is protecting you almost from that hatred and anger, but it's definitely not to the extent. You can still feel it emanating from and under and through the door, but it's not to the same extent where, I mean, before you opened the door, you stood there and it felt like every other part of the corridor. Oh, and I would like to mention that as soon as the Serac stepped through the portal, the temperature and air returned back to normal. So don't think you're walking around in an icebox this whole time. Like, you were comfortable, and then you opened the doors and just complete bad feelings, and then you close the door and it's like, you feel better, but the bad feelings are still there. But in that time, what would you have been doing, Grim?
So
Besides gentle
again,
repose,
gentle
I
repose
did
on the
say
body. Yeah. One of you help me with him. We'll carry him into the room where the experiments were going on. I think it's very important that we get him up, if possible. And chances are that's something that his lab is equipped with a little bit of luck.
So would they question? Do they feel all the bad vibes? Just
Probably not. I mean, it does very much seem to be like a force that emanates out, and then if you were to walk down here, it would be weaker, and then
okay.
it would kind of spill around the corner. So they, as you guys are walking the body past or dragging, carrying the body past around this corner down here, you might feel like a shudder down your spine from just a bad feeling up that corridor that you shouldn't go up there. But it definitely wouldn't have been like the waves that you and Damakos felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of keen on the idea of leaving now. I don't really want to mess with that room.
Whatever's in there, we're not being We're not even being paid. There's no reason for us to be. Because there's something bad is happening. Nothing we can do about it. So we should just leave it.
Yeah.
Well, if everyone wants to come back down to the lab, which I believe.
Yeah, I would head back to the lab. We'd close the door as well.
I'll bring Trith down there.
That would be my next plan of attack.
And I guess we reconvene in the lab.
Sure, I'm just moving in short sections.
Is
so
our flesh
everybody
golem
can
like
see.
falling apart?
Yeah, I was going to ask about when I walk past the flesh golem again.
It's definitely degrading. By this point, it's very clear a couple of the stitches have unraveled and kind of dissolved. You'd imagine in an hour it'll probably have an arm missing, in 2 an arm and a leg, in 6 hours it'll be a pile of meat.
When we're walking past the what's it called golem, meat golem here, I'd suggest that maybe we should just leave this whole place now instead of waiting around in the lab and all that. Of course, I'd follow us to the lab we always go. And I'd explain that, well, it seems that, like, when the old man has passed away, a lot of the magic he had running in this place seems to be falling apart, and we've seen some pretty bad things in other rooms that, did they fail,
Did you
might not allow us to ever leave
specifically go to the room you were told not to go to?
again. Yeah, I mean, you told us to look
I
around.
understand, but I'm just curious as to whether that is the first room you thought to look at, like not poring over his notes. Like I thought that I had implied, but perhaps not.
I thought he would keep his more secret notes there, and he wanted to keep us away from.
And what was in the room?
Runes, glowing summoning circle.
Nothing.
What was it summoning
This is an empty
to?
stomach.
Aren't you the wizard?
I am not a wizard. I am a sorcerer.
Semantics,
I don't
sure.
control my shit.
My father was a wizard. There was just a really bad feeling in the room.
Right. Okay. First things first. No judgment. Can anyone speak with the dead?
It does not seem so.
Is that our plan?
The cleric should be able to. I don't know if he's still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. I was just, but I don't think I have it though. No,
No, he does not.
they're not.
He does not have commune with dead. I don't know why the cleric does not have commune with dead.
All right. Second plan, again, sort of the original plan. I thought I was being clever there for a second. You've looked at his notes. Did anything mention bringing back a consciousness or anything?
When I read over his notes, nothing was like that, right?
No.
I'd be like, from what I know, this man is, he's necromancer, not necessarily healing magic.
Well, yes, I know he was a necromancer.
I mean, they're two quite different things.
I don't think I can heal him at this point. I want to speak with him, and hopefully he knows a way to do it or something.
I mean, you can just start talking to him right now. I don't think he'll get a reply back.
I quite agree with you. That's why I wanted to do so through magical means.
I don't think we have magical means to talk to this man.
I understand. I understand that entering into the situation, we are not prepared to do this thing. I was hoping that we could find some sort of information or glean something from this Mad Wizard's experiments that will allow us to do so.
There's nothing here like that.
Are you sure? Or is this conjecture?
I mean, from what I know. But are you suggesting that he has otherwise?
I am certainly hoping so.
I mean, I would probably start looking over his notes, but see, I'm not entirely sure what this means. But do you think this would help me looking out for notes of his right now?
Probably would, yes.
And what check should I make?
Give me a second. That is more, you would know where to find that information, and in which case you'd imagine it would be the kind of things that he would keep to himself and keep locked in his mind. The actual secrets to life and death itself are the things you don't tend to write down too much. At least the definites about it. If you were able to talk to him, you have no doubt that he would be able to teach you everything you needed to know about his expertise and profession. But talking to a corpse and getting information out of that, not too much chance.
Two different things.
I mean, if
He would never have a speak with dead spell scroll lying around, would he?
the other place you could possibly find these kinds of information are tribal shamans, other clerics, churches and temples, the usual places that deal in life and death, or more specifically life.
All right. Next line of thought. Does anyone happen to have detect magic prepared? No.
No.
No. No.
No.
Have we checked him or his quarters? That could help us find some information.
That's certainly a thing we can do. I'm loath to do it without knowing the presence of magical deterrence.
I have another concern. Actually, this is more of a DM question, but do we all collectively know that, the portal needs someone to activate it? Or was this
No.
something only...
It was
Riod?
only Riod discovered that.
Okay, not that I
right.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Then, but...
Because he was the only one that has so far used it.
Well, then I would just suggest that, we just leave. We take the teleporter and just go.
There's a third or possibly fourth, I'm somewhat losing track, concern as to that as well. Someone has to operate that teleporter on this end and stay here. It's not a matter of just stepping through like it was on the other end. Someone has to activate it to leave.
Do we know where the other end of the teleporter is?
Somewhere
you
throughout
guys
these halls. We've seen the bridge. Likely there's a
Where
way
is that?
across, but I don't think we're stranded.
I'll tell you guys right now. The two mages used to do it. That Christot would take the teleporter out, and then Drith would just use levitate to get across the chasm because he had levitate.
Right, so you just need to get across the chasm.
Yeah, like that's the main issue. But the problem is that it's easier said than done when the distance you've got to jump is 35 feet.
Oh no, I'll stay behind.
Or 35 feet at its shortest point.
I'll stay behind.
Do you levitate? Or are you
Kinda?
feeling particularly martyrish?
I'm feeling lighter than air.
Good enough.
What does that mean?
This is
Just like a really good jumper?
This is bad. You all seem very remarkably level-headed and calm for what could possibly be the most powerful lich in all of the planes put together, knowing whom we are.
I mean,
Rion actually
one
said
thing
this
at a time.
prior, though. Has Rion?
No, not really.
What's that?
Because I'm pretty sure he didn't say he knew that lich to all of us. He's the only one who passed that check.
Yeah,
So
no,
we
it was.
sort of. He's the only one who
This
knows.
is
We
the first
did
time
know shit.
certainly mentioned it.
I mean, just as a general rule of thumb, when a lich shows up, it's already bad news. When a lich looks at you and goes, "Yeah, I know you. You're really fucked up."
That's why we should see it right now.
He said that he'll see us in Omu. My end goes in Oralunga. I see no problem there.
Do you know where Orlangu is?
Consider the following.
I have an idea.
So no.
It's a rough idea. I can
Do you
take
has
us
know
to
that
an
the
area.
area is not Amu? The thing that you're thinking about?
Would I know that is not Omu?
Yeah, you'd know that it's not the same city. You'd be able to say that, you were pretty confident you could get you guys within maybe 30-mile squared distance from it. Like, you and your faction had narrowed it down pretty well. There wasn't going to be an expedition sent into the heart of Chult without an almost guaranteed knowledge that you were going to get something out of it. It's just the fact that you weren't the head of the expedition and you just managed to basically steal some notes on your way out.
Yeah.
So like you might have a general overview map of the general area of it, as opposed to a direct street view map of exactly how to get to it.
No street view.
Take a left at the big tree.
Oh no, I took a left at the wrong big tree.
I'd say that we've done lots of research. We're pretty sure it's not Omu. We'd narrowed it down. With everyone else dying, I only got a little bit of notes, so I can get us close, but not as close as if everyone was here.
Again, that's fantastic and wonderful, but knowing where a place is not shouldn't make things fine. That the most powerful lich in all of existence has taken a personal vested interest in yourself.
I have no idea of the mission he is talking about. I don't think he was talking to me.
He certainly was. Whether you intended for him to be talking to you or not, he knows who you are now, and apparently he's been watching you and all of us. Look, let's go have a seat, and I'll fill you in on some things.
If that is really the case, then there must be something that, I don't know, may be able to stop him at all longer. If he was watching me, who was unrelated to your quest, there must be some correlation there, don't you think?
It's possible. Again, let's have a seat. Let's calm down and stop panicking.
There's the guy who was just telling everyone that they're amazingly level-headed.
This is the only person panicking.
Guys, please stop panicking. Please, guys, stop panicking.
Exactly. Certainly, while I'm waiting
if
for
we're
everyone
gonna
to come
stop
in, if people
panicking.
come in, I'm going to start looking through his notes. More sort of idly.
I'm gonna suggest that we leave, and
I was just looking for the.
outside. Not in the place with the demon circle that is possibly weakening by the second.
I thought you said there was nothing in there.
No, there was. I mean, I don't like. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would know as well. That like.
Yeah, you felt the same things as
I did-
Yeah,
Damatos.
like
I did
There's
actually say that.
something-
Did it not get picked up when I said? Because I would have actually told Riot. Like I did say something. I'm not sure if Discord heard me.
I think it was a misunderstanding since that when we said there was nothing in there, we meant like it looked like nothing was in there, but there was a something.
No, I certainly
in there.
interpreted that there was nothing in there as there being nothing in there.
Yeah, I agree.
I remember earlier I tried to say that there was a big glowy summoning circle, but I'm not
You
sure.
did,
if-
but that's
Not
all
all
okay.
with mages.
So I'm not sure what the nothing is, but there was a bad feeling.
Look, there's something in there, and you can go in there and check yourself if you need to confirm my statement.
I'd
I-
probably advise against
It's very
opening the door
vague
again,
right
though.
now what you're telling me. I don't think I need to go in there and look, but you're being very non-descriptive.
I can't be any more descriptive about the nothing that was in that thing. You know, if Rion if Rion wants, I can take him right over to the circle.
I think that's sort of the least
hope
of our
someone
concerns
does.
at the moment. Let's worry about some of the
It's the most of
practical
our
things right now. Oh, goodness. Excuse me.
Can you imagine if I was just like, yeah, greater demon whose summoning circle is slowly eroding?
Oh,
Don't worry, it's not.
Just waiting for that
so
elfish
much
snap.
worse.
as far
It's
as you
so
know,
much
that
worse.
David summoning circle is not eroding.
All right, so the things we know. Powerful Lich against us. Killed quite a powerful necromancer. Stole a boy with the ability to... I don't know what he does, but he certainly messes with the natural orders in ways that I find, quite frankly, disgusting and sickening. And somewhat frightening, if I can be honest about it.
That's acceptable. You're leaving out the part of the demon summoning circle.
Right, apparently
that's,
there's a summoning circle which
the basis.
is bad. But hopefully if we don't go in there, we'll certainly be somewhat less bad. Right? Again,
I mean,
surely the two of you are more experts on demons. Surely you, at the very least.
no, I'm not a demon expert. What are you trying to imply?
See, I don't know if it was a demon they were summoning.
Are you actually standing there, Alan?
Me?
Yeah, like, are you having
I'm
this
sort of
conversation?
standing like I think I'm slightly in
You're
light.
just barely in the
or something.
shadows,
But
practically.
The
Yeah.
point is you're out on this like Casimir
Yeah.
kind of talking through the door and everything.
Yes,
Well,
I specifically do.
You would hear like during some of the louder tones of your speaking as you're kind of discussing between you guys and trying to talk over each other, you'd hear a shuffling and every now and then a quick ee, ee, from underneath the bridge you're standing on.
Like something under the bridge.
Yeah,
Just,
and
just a quick question.
yeah.
I noticed that I had spell slots missing. Was there any rest, or are they still missing?
They would still be missing because you did not get a full rest.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Was that a mechanical eep or a organic eep?
Like a
eep?
creature
Yeah.
More like a mosquito ee.
Oh, no.
Ah, gosh. I'm gonna take a step away from the bridge and be like, then now the bridge
Someone
makes
close the
noise.
doors.
The bridge is making noises.
Maybe don't.
There's something under the chasm again. We should leave before
don't wanna
whatever
be
it is
lost
decides
here.
what's to be.
All right, the two things directly in front of us. One, do we try to take the body, try to take him somewhere where he can be raised or find out information? Number two, do we attempt to loot this place and hope we find something that could help us in not getting killed by a lich?
I mean, if that guy was going to kill us, if that thing was going to kill us, we would be dead.
Just because he didn't kill us right here and now doesn't mean he isn't going to kill us.
You think this guy has a scroll of like anti-lich lying around?
No, I think he's incredibly insane. I mean, who knows? What could be lying around?
I do not believe that should you wish to survive, staying here would be a good thing. I do not wish to be here. I certainly don't wish to die for your hunches that maybe something exists in this place to assist you.
You don't think there could be some sort of powerful magical item or something in a lair of a powerful necromancer and his apprentice who can bend nature to his will?
There are powerful things here, and they are the things that would kill us if they found us.
You know, spellcasters, or at least wizards, you know, tend to have spell books too, which contain all of their spells, which are pretty invaluable most of the time.
Let's
Something like
talk
that
and
would
walk
be
at the very least.
On him, wouldn't it?
How about we talk and walk? Well, okay, as we're crossing the bridge, does it like we get ambushed by mosquitoes or something?
Depends how loud you guys talking as you walk across the bridge.
I mean, we're kind of having
pretty
a
loud. I
heated
think we're talking
argument.
pretty loud.
Yeah, we will. Odds they wake up, evens they stay asleep.
All right,
Even.
let's say we
They stay asleep.
Okay.
Not quite loud enough to wake them up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, why don't you follow me?
I think we should look through these storerooms or whatever and see if there's anything to be found.
I think you should follow me up to the north, and then we can look in this room if you need to look for something important.
If you looked inside this, because where you're staying, yeah, if you looked inside there at that door, you would just find small cages ranging anywhere from chicken size to medium dog size.
I no longer wish to be in this room.
None of them are currently used, and they're all clean. Contrary to the map, it's not actually all bloody.
Okay. At the very least, you know, I want to search, you know, Dreth.
Yep.
I couldn't find anything on him, but be my guest.
You would find on him
12 gold.
You would notice that his once quite flamboyant shirt actually kind of shimmered and waved as he moved. Has turned to a dull grey as you realize what it might actually be. And that's what you find on Drith's body.
Do you mean with...
I mean...
normal?
There's no way I found that, was there?
I mean, no, this is Riyadh. He was the one that specifically said he's going over the body.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, old chap. Apparently, we can't stay here and find a way to bring you up. Pragmatics that we are, however. I hope you'll forgive me. If we have time, we'll try to do something about you. With luck. And
I gotta steal that man's 45
I'm gonna
gold.
take the Glamour Weaves Spider Silk shirt, a spell book, component pouch, and a dagger.
What did you find on him?
Didn't realize this man was chaotic evil over here.
I didn't kill him.
Could I have a look through his spell book?
You can give me a investigation or an arcana to see whether it's even legible to you. Because yeah, wizards don't tend to write in known languages in their spell books. And with a 20, you'd be able to probably glean a spell or two. I mean, it, doesn't mean too much to you, considering you don't use spellbooks, do you? Or do you?
I mean,
can never
use it.
remember with them.
Given time and resources, sorcerers can learn wizard spells. But
Yeah. That's
is there anything like? Because I'm just guessing rolling a 20, like maybe writes the same as my father, who was a wizard. But like, is there anything I can glean that can help us in this situation?
Give me a second to pull up his sheet again, so I see what spells he had.
I would certainly say that if he has to pour through this, apparently there are better times for it.
Yeah, and I mean, already this would have taken 10 minutes, or the 5 or 10 minutes it would have taken you to, strip his shirt and go through all his pockets and everything. Give me... Here we go. We'll do this. /R1d5. So, 5. You would be able to tell one spell, for somehow it would be a level 5, and you would be able to realize it as the spell Cloud Kill. You probably can't transfer it because you can't use it yourself yet, but that in the future would be the only spell you'd be able to transfer.
That's cool.
So if you're going to take the spell book for ease sake later, just put like spell book and then in thingies, whatever they are, the not quotations.
I'm just saying, but I would take the spell book from Damicos and pop it into the harvest sack.
Yeah. Well, whoever takes it, mark it down as spellbook Cloud Kill, just so I know that that's the spell available to that spellbook.
Just to let you know, I found a level 5 spell in there. Well, what'd you call it? What would you call it? I don't know.
You would call it a really powerful spell beyond your abilities at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I found a spell that is currently beyond my abilities. At some point, I may be able to make use of it.
Yes, hopefully we can make great use of the spellbook in general. But now we have to see where Ellen's wandered off to.
And by this point, Ellen, you're basically like walking past the flesh golem that's basically a torso and one arm dragging itself up and down the hallway still.
I see.
Like there might be a leg on one tile, the other arm on another tile, and everything like that. It's kind of just not paid any attention as it's walked. Like you may have heard a thump at one point as its leg dropped off, and it just kind of fell to the ground, and then continued on its patrolling.
Alright, I'm going to walk up to the door. That's up here, so I'm just going to slowly start walking up, and let me know if for some reason I need to stop. And I'm going to.
I would tell you to not do that.
I'm opening the door regardless.
I would say opening it once was probably too many times.
I'm opening the door.
You'd open the door to hear a nah coming from the circle, as you would see a common everyday household goat sitting in the center of the circle, but it's very obvious. It is very angry, and you can see death in its eyes.
Oh, it's just the goat. Let me go let it out.
And yeah, every couple of seconds it'll like rear back to try and like throw itself at you and just get stopped by midair, and then it'd give an indignant bar before kind of resetting itself and relining itself up and rearing back again.
I'm gonna.
Do you know the name Azura?
Me or the goats?
I would probably come in behind you at some point. I thought we were in a hurry to go.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the goat. It's in here.
The goat.
Yes.
It's to be noted that like the feeling of hate and anger, like that tangibleness of it is still emanating and flowing down this hallway. Like it's pressing in on the other three of you by this point.
Exactly.
It almost feels like a physical force against you.
definitely leave right now. Shut the
You
door.
told you said
Let's
that I
just
was
go.
lying, that there was nothing
I did
in
not
this room.
say
that we
you were
should
a
sit here and
liar.
hold hands.
Why would you
And
open
shutting
the
the
door
door.
again if this is the feeling that emanated across you when you opened it the first time? Is it to prove a
Because
point?
the door.
Obviously.
It is exactly to prove a point.
I would rather you not risk
I
my
take a-
life, the lives of my companions, to prove a point for the future.
Risking my life and your life, when you're the one who wanted to stay here.
As you walk down the hallway from the closed door, you'd hear a muffled.
You kind of cut off, but did you move?
I like
away?
it though. That
No.
it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, I barred, but I had my hand over my
gotcha.
mouth to try and
It
muffle
was
it.
thematic. I liked it.
I am no expert on summoning circles, but I think it gaining a physical form is.
I know, if you had investigated the room, you would have seen a couple of the glyphs had snuffed out, and they were literally just making it invisible. It's just a common goat. It's just really angry.
I promise.
I don't know about that. So, isn't this the teleporting
I doubt it's
circle?
just
Is the
coming
bridge
back.
connected? Is the bridge back?
No, as far as you can see, there is still just these maybe foot-wide plinths of stone floating in the air.
Give the area a
So,
once over.
Yep. It looks exactly as described. Like, to the point. I mean, do you do anything physical? Do you, like, touch to see if there's things there or anything?
Yeah.
Invis-
I mean,
The
I
invisible
wouldn't be,
Indiana Jones
like
bridge.
leaning over it or anything like that,
Oh god,
That
it
is
jumped off
actually-
the
That is exactly what it is, actually. You're not sure why, but there is an invisible bridge there that has just 2 1-foot segments missing at each end. But you kind of test it with your fingers first, and then your entire palm in the little gap between where you're standing and that 1-foot plinth in front of you, and yep, sure enough, there's solid matter there. Your hand stops, and it feels like slightly dusty stone, like the rest of this, rest of the floor in here.
I believe there's actually a bridge here. It's just invisible. If you jump to the
Wonderful.
plinth and go across, and then jump on the other side,
Wonderful.
likely.
You wanna keep sitting around here?
What's the religion roll for, Jake?
Religion roll.
I just wanted to see if there's anything to do with the circle.
Oh, no.
Summoning circle, is it? No.
No. I mean, the summoning circle has nothing to do with religion whatsoever. You're damn sure of that. The gods have nothing to do with how this circle works. This is pure, unadulterated magic.
Oh.
But back to the invisible bridge. If you continued testing, you would actually find that the bridge is in between the 2 plinths too. Like, it's a full bridge. So you're pretty sure you wouldn't have to jump.
Oh, okay. I
Hopefully.
thought you were saying that there was nothing like right here in this little point, but that it
No.
started right
No,
here. I gotcha.
No. The whole thing is a bridge, yeah. Like, you'd imagine it is absolutely no different to every other bridge that crosses the chasm, aside from, for some reason, most of it is invisible.
Okay. Wish me luck. And I would attempt to step onto the bridge.
It holds and is sturdy as far as you can tell under your feet. You know, it's a bit strange standing on nothing and stepping onto nothing. You kind of... Your heart each time catches in your chest as your brain expects you to kind of pitch forward into the darkness, but sure enough, your foot gets stopped and you make it across.
I search for traps on this
And-
door in front of me while I wait for everybody to come across.
Yeah.
Why are we
Yes,
going across this
I'm-
bridge?
I'm gonna attempt to cross the bridge.
Likely this is the
Why are
way
we
out.
crossing
We
the
can't use the teleporter.
Way out? Well, we
I
can use the
told you we
teleporter. Why
can't.
can we not
Someone
use
has to stay here to operate it.
So I
I
can
can
operate
stay
it.
here.
We have the other sorcerer who can operate it. What is the big
How
deal?
are you going to use it then?
How do I turn it on?
You have to be touching it.
I go over and I touch the teleport then.
If Riod would explain it properly, he would explain how Chrysot had reached out, stood in between these two statues here, and he would have reached out and touched each of the shoulders that are closest to each other, and then
Like
the
this?
circle
Like
would
in the
flare
middle?
up. Yeah.
Sure.
And
And,
then the
I do
circle
that
flares
and it
up.
does flare up.
Yes.
Correct? Okay,
Yes.
so there you go. It's on right now.
So
And then
alright.
once everyone has stepped through it, how are you going to get through it?
I mean, I'll be fine.
I'll just live in the labs. I'm the one who wanted to leave really badly, but I'll be the one to stay. It's okay, guys.
Just go hang out with the goat.
I'll
But,
just go. I'll just go pet
17
him.
perception, there's no traps that you can
Okay.
see. The door's quite sturdy and well made, and if you tried it takes a little bit of actual pushing to open, but it opens easy enough into a large room.
This room may not lead to the outside.
No, you can see coffins all closed, of various types and makes. Wood ones, stone ones, from various, you can tell, different races. There's both from size and actual design of them. You know, there's the more flowing elegantness of the elven ones, and then there's basically just a box, which you would expect would probably be the dwarves or orcs. But there's all manners of coffins, and then two statues standing in front of or flanking some staircases which go up probably a good 15, almost 20 feet before evening out and flattening out up top on something that you probably could not see the top of yet.
It's a damn morgue.
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, I can't actually talk. There we go. Okay. Would I have noticed that since I was in the room originally with the summoning circle, would I have noticed that the glyphs have sort of been snuffing out?
I mean, no one was really paying too much attention. Like
That's what I
said.
mean.
Yeah, it would have taken actual investigation and remembering, oh, hang on, these runes were lined up. So no one would have actually realized that runes were going out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to remind people nonetheless that, there's currently still a demon circle. So unless we wish to test the strength of it, I suggest we get leaving. Unless you would like to go coffins back.
Is there something I'm missing? What is your plan for leaving?
Leaving?
Like, out of character, am I not getting this? Can't she not leave if she's operating the teleporter?
No, she can't leave if she's operating the teleporter.
I was personally thinking about flying.
I just can't use the teleporter. I can still walk away. Correct?
Fine.
I'm not like stuck here for the rest of my life, right?
Yes, you would be stuck here for the rest of your life unless you can fly or levitate or something to get across the chasm.
But I mean, I can truly stop channeling the teleporter.
Yeah, like you can take your hands.
Demo
You can take your hands off the shoulders, and then the teleporter dims again and goes inert.
Okay, then yeah, sure. Then I'll tell them to worry about themselves. That unless they wish to have the conundrum of who stays behind between all three.
Fine.
Or, I guess all four of them.
Just everybody on the teleporter. I'll find my way out.
I'm already holding it, so it's fine.
No, you go too.
Keeping in mind, only one of you can actually step through
Sure.
at a time. So yeah, you guys go through one at a time. And then these two are
these two are left kind of doing the you go, no you go.
And I mean, if he wants to do it, I'll just go through the circle. Take me through.
And then I'll let you through. Right. Now.
So, you weren't even
now
the
you-
last, so you had no plan.
Well, I wasn't about to sit back there
You
and argue
hoped,
with,
you hoped you could get across, but you didn't have a plan.
I mean, if you wish to tell yourself that, sure.
And yes, you can fly across absolutely.
I'm
fine
inside
down
it.
across.
I'm
Did
just
she
gonna
have
leave.
a plan?
I'm just gonna leave.
I mean, I assume she didn't. Let me check her spells quickly, but I think she was just
Multiple
doing
ways
it to be a pain.
No, I have multiple ways across this chasm.
Do you?
Yes, I have.
Oh yeah,
two
yeah.
spells.
She had fly as well and misty
Sure.
step, so she could have gotten across.
I'm just gonna float backwards and forwards over the bridge.
That's for the lol there.
It's a
But-
wise idea.
You would get to where you last left River, and she would not be there.
Come back. Do we see like a goat ominously staring at us from the other bridge or anything?
Yes, actually. Why not?
Oh God, the goat.
Does it count?
Is he giving me like?
Nah.
Is he doing that thing where he's like putting his like hoof to his eye and pointing at me?
No, he's just standing deadpan staring at you guys as you go across and into the down the corridor.
I'm gonna stick my tongue out at it and then walk
Like-
away.
Damokos probably would have been stepping off of the ledge at that bridge as the goat was walking through the teleporter room. So as he kind of meets up with you guys, you'd turn around to have one last look back and you'd just see the goat standing there staring ominously.
And then he fades from view.
What's with the rat?
The rat would actually
That's rat's
not be...
been here.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
no,
rat
it's
would
not.
not actually be there. It was an imp. There was an imp in that room, the teleport room, and the lab, which was the bad egg smell, is when they got desummoned when Drith died. They went
Aw,
back
that's
to the
sad.
abyss.
What,
So
what
Trick's back home.
Poor Trick.
and then what is this down here? Is that anything?
No,
No.
it's a dead end. I start walking up the
Secret doors?
stairs.
What's a solid
I mean, if you want to
wall?
go check.
Oh, we have to deal with the frog here.
I'll just
Yes, well, people would make their way back up the steps.
Wall.
Oh my gosh.
Still there.
Please don't
What?
tell me he's active.
Surface. Daylight.
No, it would not be.
Okay, good.
I thought we were
I'd
in
like
the ocean.
to look for
And neither would
tracks
she.
of river.
You would find no tracks of anything smaller than the Froghemoth. There's plenty of Froghemoth tracks, from the big webbed feet tracks to tentacle. What you could only assume was tentacle marks, having slapped down some of the remaining walls and everything. There's a couple of trees toppled over on the outskirts of the clearing.
Could I tell which way it went?
But no humanoid tracks. Survival 14, you'd probably best guess would have been it headed east.
Can I try to survive with it as well?
Sure. Northeast. Clear defined northeast.
And away we go.
And away we
To the
go.
northeast
South.
we go.
To the southwest, where we were.
Southwest.
So now what way are we going here?
Well, I will.
Definitely northeast.
I start moving to the northeast.
Wouldn't it be wise to look for your friends the path we came from? Wouldn't it be?
Probably yes, which I believe does happen to be the south.
Indeed it is.
Yes, it was.
I
But looking around, aside from the general direction, knowing, which way you guys ran from, you're lost. You don't actually have any clear knowledge of where you are. Contrary to where your token is on the map.
We actually have a map token on our map. Is it the party token?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's right there.
I just chucked that there so it wasn't where you guys were.
I see. Okay.
It's not actually where you guys are. It's just so I didn't accidentally delete it.
That's fine.
But yes, you guys are well lost. You guys, at best, or at minimum, ran for a few hours from the Froghemoth, and it was kind of terrified, mindless running of something trying to kill you and you not wanting to die. So if we want to have a survival check to see if we can find ourselves, or if anyone has any abilities that allows them to not be lost.
Yeah, does someone want to use the ability before survival check?
I don't think anyone has Navigator.
No, I don't.
I know you do in Badari.
You could just become a different character.
And with that, you would find yourselves down this way.
Okay.
I'll roll 4. I know exactly where we are.
Oof.
So,
I've got to start steam bar.
All good, bro. Shopport stopping in. Before we continue on, actually, we will have a quick break. If Greg's stepping away, that gives us a good chance to have a break. People who smoke have a smoke, refill drinks and everything, and we will catch back in 5-10 and continue on the adventure.
all right. I'll go grab another beer.
I shall retrieve my ice cream.
I shall be back.
There.
Yep, I'm fine. What about yourself? Yeah, I'm good too. Now I'm going to get you something to eat. You're going to come and help me. Come on then.
I'm back. But nobody else is. It's just me talking to my beer. Hello, beer. The crack was the sound of it saying hello. Welcome back.
About a crack saying
I
hello.
was talking to my beer, and the crack was the sound of it saying hello back. Excuse me.
Very courteous beer. A very
Mm-hmm. It's like, I can't wait for you to drink me, Grim. We're gonna have the best of time together. Short though it may be.
sounds like a very suicidal
Well,
beer.
you know.
If that's the case.
It knows its lot in life.
Adding any mixers?
Hmm?
Adding any mixes
No,
or
I mean-
mixers or no?
Technically, it's not even
That's
really
right,
beer. It's Michelob seltzer.
Hard seltzer. Okay.
Yeah, it's really good on my diet. You know, no calories, no carbs. It's just water and alcohol. Basically.
But all the
Sounds very healthy.
Well, it'd probably be healthier not to drink, but that's not really an option.
never was.
Damicos. Do you have anything to scrawl a message with? Like quill ink kind of deal?
Well, yes. Yes, I have a quill and a bottle of ink. I used to be a researcher. I was a scribe for my family.
I don't know whether that's interesting or not. We're surely you lived in hell, right? Aren't you literally from like the abyss, the infernal planes?
Well, my family comes from there, but I have lived in Chult my whole life.
Oh,
This is where I was born. This is where I grew up.
I was wondering the impression. I believe you were talking about your uncle or something and tracing his lineage back to him. I sort of just assumed that
No.
that's where you were from.
Stygia is where my ancestor comes from. Levestus. He's a greater demon lord.
I've heard the name. I don't know if I actually would have or not, but I sort of again just assumed since you just took such pride in it that I see. I see.
I mean, it's just a great claim of my family. I hope to one day actually go visit. The planeswalking is a bit of a.
Are you
difficult
sure
art.
that's the wisest thing to do?
I don't know if it's wise or not. It's just been a dream of mine.
I see. I wouldn't imagine that he would embrace you on his arms and say, Damicos, my boy, so good to finally meet you.
What's this?
I mean,
Lovely.
I have been blessed with his power. I would assume that I am one of the chosen ones.
Ah. Yes.
What's going on?
RP.
Just a little bit in character talking.
I'm not sure if that necessarily applies. Isn't your power more of a almost a symptom of, or rather than a direct being chosen?
We're breaking his reality and telling him that he's not a chosen person.
I know. Well,
That is not what is believed in my family.
I see.
Not
I'm not gonna quite know what
not
you're saying.
everyone gets the power. It's only once every few generations that the power will manifest.
Right.
We believe it's a sign of blessings that Levestus still smiles upon our family.
Yes.
I don't know what you guys were talking about, like in character, but I'm gonna be like, follow your dreams. I believe in you.
He wants to go to the abyss to see his relatives.
Not the abyss, the fifth tower.
Right. Either way, would you mind if you wrote a message for a river and... Well, I don't know where we're going yet. I suppose it's something we should discuss. I also don't know if Craig's back, so I didn't want to start discussing it.
No, I believe he said that he had to go.
Oh, like go.
Yeah, I mean, he's still in court, so he might come back, but we'll continue on without
Gotcha.
him.
He said something about getting food or something. I think.
He might be back then, but like I said, we'll continue without him.
I don't remember. All I know is he said something about. He's like, I'm gonna be getting something, and it's gonna be for you or something. I maybe I'm completely like a fever dreaming it up.
No, I think I heard something around that.
Oh no, if he comes back, he comes back. If not, all good.
All I heard were funny.
If not, we didn't want him here anyway.
Well, right. I suppose we should have a sit down and a talk. Since I don't believe I've even filled you in, Damikos, on what we're doing here, have I?
No. When we met, there seemed to be an overlooming goblin war that was
Right.
main concern.
Well, in the start there were 4 of us. Myself, Jake, a spy by the name of Roland, and a wizard who disappeared during the first couple of episodes.
Remember, you felt like he was there, but he was never really there. It was weird. There was someone missing, but not missing at the same time.
Well,
but I mean,
sure,
you can,
yeah.
Rio can fully describe it as, we had someone,
Right.
but they went missing or weren't
Something
there.
happened. It's a bit hazy. We were tasked. You know of the curse, yes? Surely. Raised creatures after so long die again.
It's something world known by this point.
It was well known here in Choke before it was world known.
Well, our benefactor has more or less traced the cause of it here to Cholt, and has tasked us with finding it and doing what we can to stop it. What we found so far is that it's linked directly to an artifact called the Soulmonger, which sounds like a person or a job title, but I believe it is some sort of artifact. And it is located, as much as I believe, in the lost city of Omu, which is somewhere to the south.
Oh, so that explains the Lich saying, "I'll see you in Omen."
Yes. Which
I was questioning that. No one's seen that place
indeed.
in a very long time. It is just Teo.
Like at least 100 years.
And apparently not only the
Like a-
Soulmonger, but the most powerful Lich to ever Lich is there as well. And likely it is in his possession.
Yes, I would more than assume that the Soulmonger has something to do with the
Which
Lich.
leaves me somewhat at odds. Because,
So you're gonna go fight a lich?
well, no, that's why I'm somewhat questioning things. Because I, as I am, and I can say certainly any of us, even together, are in no position to fight a lich currently.
Speak for yourself.
Let alone the lich to end all liches.
So we have to find this Omu, and we have to find a way to stop Sararak. Let alone finding a way to neutralize the Soulmonger. And frankly, I'm fresh out of Leeds. I don't know what to do. We could head back to the city, ask around, but what do? Do you say, go up to someone and say, do you know how to kill a lich? I can't imagine that would be extraordinarily fruitful.
I mean, if you go up to the right person and say it, then maybe it is.
Do you know the right people?
I know. Just quickly out of character, I want to say I never met Valendra.
What?
No, you didn't.
I never went to the heart with you guys.
Yeah.
But at risk of repeating myself too often, I would have to say, if we're out of ideas, then Orlunga would be the way we should be looking. There's meant to be great knowledge, great power. I'm not exactly sure what, but there might just be what we need to find there. It's a long shot, but it's all we have.
Personally,
at the moment, isn't it?
well, yes, but that also sounds vague. What is there?
I've heard of a legend of a wise guardian there as well.
Wise Guardian? Who is this? Who is this wise guardian you speak of?
I have no clue.
A good lead then.
We were only able to narrow down the location. We as far as I know, none of the notes that I got said anything to do with what was actually there. But
A man on the street told me to visit the Wise Guardian, and then he said something about bees. I have no clue why.
Bees.
I'm not.
And at this point, you know, there'd be, you know, at least one or two bees constantly circling.
I don't know what you're talking about, bees. I'm not saying I know what to do. I'm explicitly saying I don't know what to do. But when I hear the term wise guardian, I don't think the term wise librarian. Surely, if there is someone wise there, they wouldn't share this knowledge with us.
Just out of character, I don't know if I know anything about a wise guardian.
No, you do not. You know of the existence of the city and a general rough location enough to possibly get you within eyesight if you were able to get height over the trees and everything. And then Nezu has what he heard from some random crazy guy on a street talking about bees and a, yes, wise guardian in the city of Orolonga.
Frankly, we're out of leads. Frankly,
We are out of leads, but again, two of my friends are missing currently. One chased God knows where by that thing, the other gone God's knows where, hopefully after her brother. I'm at a loss.
At after this long traveling with
Sure,
her
I
and her
mean,
brother,
she can take care of herself.
you're pretty sure that's not only that, but you're pretty sure the only reason she would have just taken off like that was to go look for her brother, or if she had some kind of lead on her brother or something.
But
like
Riyadh
that.
would
She
certainly
was always the more responsible one.
unduly worry.
Oh yeah. I was just saying, she's like, that would probably be even more of a worry for Riyadh, because you'd know she was always the more sensible one. She was the one that would make sure people would, say before they went out of sight of everyone else and everything like that. So the fact that she just took off, would probably be a bit like,
And again, I worry that the Lich that just visited us visited her as well.
Your friends from the staircase?
Yes. Well, her and then her brother,
What
who went
interest
missing
does
before.
What interest does a lich have in
Well,
them?
what interest does a Lich have in us?
I mean, he wasn't there for us.
The Lich that said he'll be seeing us soon.
that he had been following your guys' progress and know of your quest.
But I mean, as far
Surely he
as
was
I'm
just
concerned,
talking out his ass. It was a bluff.
well, what?
Roll insights.
It was a bluff. No, but he was there for the necromancer, and we just happened to be there at the wrong place at the wrong time, as they like
Then
to say.
why would he address us as such? Like, he killed Dreth without batting an eye. He let us live for a reason. I mean, whether it was merely to mock us or not, I couldn't say.
You are a magic user, Alan? Yeah, you're a magic user, so you would know that PWK is a spell that doesn't just get offhandedly used like that. Like, he's either beyond all imagination's power, or he really wanted that elf dead. One of those is the thing. And just as an out of character note, he casts first, second, and third level spells at will.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but that's exactly what I mean. We're so far beneath them that why would he care about?
They're
because you won't always be. You're already, level 5, 6 adventurers are already miles, leagues above the top of the best of most other mortal races and everything like that. Like, you guys are in a complete league of your own. In time, you guys could very well be a threat to something like him.
We would be banned from the Olympics.
Yeah, you guys would have been banned from the Olympics.
I'm banned from the Olympics.
You guys would have been banned at level 2 for serious steroid use, considering, how many of you guys are magical? All of you?
Yeah, I guess.
They just told me it was canceled.
They just told me it was canceled. But as well as, there is another lead that I thought of. Almost as if it was serendipitously brought to my attention.
The god of 420 had spoken into my very mind.
Acererak wanted Dreth dead. There is another necromancer, a strong necromancer, whose name I conveniently forget, Saphira or whatever, who lives to the south. It could certainly be worth something bringing Dreth to her. I mean, I know she would at least be able to speak with him being dead.
Well, there's a bit of a problem. His body is down there in the forsaken tubes.
I understand, but if
that
we're
are
quick, we get it, we come out. You and Damikos both have your tricks to leave, circumventing the portal. It's...
Yeah, like, at the end of the day, if you guys wanted to pull the body up, I would just say one of you two that can cast fly, remove a spell slot for fly, and then you can just have the body.
Dreth knows something.
I mean,
Acererak...
have we been standing around here talking for, what is it, 10 minutes?
Yeah, it'd probably be 10, closer to 20 minutes by this point, besides all the discussion and everything.
Acererak wanted Dreth dead
go,
for something he knew. I think it would only behoove us to learn that thing as well.
I agree with this.
One of you guys can go back down there and try to retrieve the body, but I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen the demon down there, and I don't really wish to test my luck with it.
I certainly agree. I believe we should stay as far away from the demon as we can and stop opening that door.
Oh, the door was left open, remember?
I left the door open, yeah, I forgot to close it.
That's why I was able...
shut the door.
That's why
You shut the door.
You shut the door earlier.
No, I specifically even wrote it in chat when I was shutting the door the second time.
Yes, no, that is right.
Then I opened it and I did not specify that I was closing it. That is true. We were too busy arguing about there being something in the room.
Yeah. When you were arguing, I was closing the door.
Well, I mean, sure. Okay, if he closed the door, then sure.
Either way, though, the goat was still out, or the demon.
Yeah. So I'm not going back down there. Even if the door was closed, even if it was open, the goat was out.
Your mortal doors stop me not.
So do people go down?
I mean, I don't want to go down.
Like, I couldn't get the body out by myself. You know, I can't fly. I can't use the teleporter. Like, one of these two would have to come with me. And again,
I could help.
I will cast fly on you if...
Well, then do so, and please don't break your concentration.
As long as a spell slot gets used, I'm happy for you guys to retrieve the body.
I'll use because I get mine back easier.
And while you're down there, the goat is very prevalent, and every now and then, as you're moving through the hallways back to Drith's body, which would still be in the lab, you'd hear a light bar, and as you turn to look at it, you'd just see a flash of the goat's head disappear around a corner. And then just seemingly impossibly, it would be, as you turn back to continue on your way, in front of you, peeking around another corner.
I'm just
ever present, but never close enough to properly interact with it. It's just keeping an eye on you and giving a very angry, indignant meh as it disappears and backs out of you.
Just going nope the entire time.
Does anyone have carrots to offer it?
I purposely dropped my competition once he's over a pit.
No, you would pull Drift's body back up. Obviously, I would assume you would have returned his normal clothes to him, so you're not dragging up a naked body.
Yeah, we'll return his clothes to him. So I'll pull those off my sheet.
So, like, okay, so you did actually.
I certainly did.
So you kind of get back down there and, not wanting to have to drag an entirely naked body out of the pits of the earth, you kind of give him some dignity back and give him, pants and a shirt to put back on, or a tunic or something. And you manage to bring him back out. And, I mean, if it was just you going down with the fly spell cast on you, you wouldn't even need to use the teleporter. You could just float up, grab the body, float back.
Yeah. You're gonna come back and like, okay, I recognize that outfit.
I didn't put him on.
Riod was like, let's save him, and then strips him naked.
Well, we were so eager not to save him. Well then, yes, we should leave a note saying that we're heading south to the heart of. Oh God, what's it called? I'm looking for the handout now.
Heart of Uptown.
For the heart of Uptown, and we should also. I'd certainly appreciate it if you helped keep an eye out for any tracks of her or them.
Well, I'll write a note, but I'm not very good at finding tracks. I'll keep an eye out, but it's not one of my specialties.
I understand.
And I mean,
Me.
Greg's not here, so I'll make.
Yeah, I'm here.
For you. Oh, you are here? Okay, never mind
Yeah.
then. I won't make Jake share the load of carrying Drith.
I'll
decide
carry.
that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'll carry. I'll carry him on my back.
I mean, taking turns
Yeah.
or whatever between whoever wants to take turns carrying him and everything to lessen the load as much as possible. Although it will have effects at some point or another. Like if you guys get attacked or something, there's not going to be any hiding easily.
Yeah.
What's this random corpse doing in the middle of nowhere?
I mean, it fits the bill for Chult.
That is a point. Although most dead things tend to be missing like limbs or large chunks of flesh. He looks like he just fell asleep.
You're not wrong.
But I will drag us back onto the map of death.
At least it's loaded this time.
Yes.
Were you here, Greg, when I suggested we go back to the heart of whatchamacallit?
Heart of
Yeah.
well, let me just quickly do this one. That's 10.
Oh, before we head out, I'd like to request we do like a short rest.
Short rest is easy enough. I mean, you could have taken a short rest while the body was being retrieved. Or
Well,
whatever.
I was expending the slot.
Oh, you were the one using the spell slot. Then yeah, you can take one at the same time. I mean, before you guys leave. It's only 10 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
That
just
or
wanted to
someone
say that.
carry her.
Casting that spell, I sure need a breather.
I'm like, breath, like you know, dancing.
Okay. It will take. It's, 10, 11 days journey. Give me one survival roll.
Are we just walking like straight south?
Yeah, we'll just try and hand wave this part. So give me one survival roll, somebody. Yep. Okay. So you get lost at some point during the time, so it takes an extra couple of days to reach it.
I would respite.
I mean,
as
things
needed
would
and whatnot on the body. Yeah.
Yeah, things would happen. Unless you guys want to, it's up to you guys. We can finish the round out with a fight, or we can finish it out with the Heart of Uptown RP. Because 11 days, 13, 14 days travel, something's going to happen in that time. But it's not going to be something that's going to wipe you guys out. So we can hand wave the fight, or we can play the fight out and leave the RP for
I
next
wouldn't mind
time.
a fight and then do the
Do
RP
the
next time.
fight. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah,
That's
I
fine
wouldn't
then.
mind a fight.
We shall do that, and I shall
I'll roll a
Okay.
d20. It's a 10.
You die.
find.
Rocks fall.
No. It's 10 Frogosaur.
Oh
things.
no.
I
Which was done waiting. Which
do not believe.
Oh,
Have we used this map
Maybe
yet? It might be very blurry for a
yeah.
couple
it
minutes.
took-
Okay.
took a
Yeah,
Well, then
couple
we will
seconds.
use these maps. While we are traveling, one of the nights we managed to find these ruins. It looks like a ruined town or village. There's multiple short, squat huts in varying states of disrepair. An overgrown in the middle, and overgrown what seemed to have once been a sort of marketplace. There might be a couple of benches left set up. Nothing of great value left out in the open. You guys would have set up camp and been pretty comfortable by the time that whatever happens, we will just find the
I hope we don't
Random
get inked right here.
I
with
hope we
this,
don't get
Yeah.
ambushed.
this destroyed village.
where are the random encounters?
At this jungle base camp.
I like it though. It's a cool map.
It is.
It is. It's
I like
actually not a
sitting at
bad
like
one.
the pillowy
It's
thingy
an
here.
awesome map.
Where's my random encounters? There.
I generally think the
wilderness.
maps people make are pretty impressive.
Someone give me a D100 roll.
I gotcha. Boom. What's that? It's exactly what we needed. A
It's a 30.
30.
30
that's-
Tyrannosauruses.
That would have been funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attempt to stealth straight away.
Happy with that. Let us just find them quickly. There they are. And how many is it?
Well, it shows up as your random.
Sup, bitches. I told you I would be looking for you.
So at some point during the night, you'd hear what sounds like very
it nighttime?
large. Yes, it would be nighttime at this point. So everyone can basically long rest their sheet at this point because you would have had multiple long rests by this point. So
Yeah.
restock off,
Dope.
retop everything off, and you would hear and then quickly notice two very, very large looking multi-armed monkeys. Oh, not the zombie one.
Zombie monkeys.
Really close to me.
And they
Zombie
would
monkeys.
come swinging down off of this overgrown tree to the northeast before landing and screaming in your faces, roll initiative.
Roll.
Please don't do this
Oops.
to me.
Okay. Where's my token?
I just forget that. It's-
Yeah.
I don't know where initiative is here. Oh gosh.
Damn, it got still
My
be
God.
slow though.
Okay.
It's okay, so do the monk somehow.
Yeah.
Seven?
One of them's
Did I
way
actually have my
faster than
character
me.
selected? Yes, I did. Oh gosh, I'm starting up round two. I'm
Is
going
that
after
everyone?
both the
I think
monkeys.
so.
Right. Riod's turn first.
Alright. As per usual, we mage armor, followed by shillelagh, followed by walking towards the front. I'm good.
Gorillion one's turn. Right, what are these things do? Okay. It moves forward. And
Oh my god!
I thought these guys thought this was
Oh
crazy.
my God.
Only the 25 fits.
whoa, lucky. That's 9
Kill it!
damage.
Kill it! Kill it!
Yeah, so yeah, this thing kind of just like beats its chest with its like 6 arms a couple of times and then just takes basically 2 bounds towards you, goes to lift you up, misses a few times and just slugs you once. And then this one will basically do the same. But not to you. I'm not that mean. Yep, it can go straight down there without even using its bonus action. And this one's against Jake.
Oh,
This
oh
one,
no!
second one, third one,
Oh,
fourth one. Holy
It rolled
what?
so much better.
4 out of 5 hits.
what?
Oh my gosh, it's 19. Oh my god. Or why?
You guys wanted to fight.
But you also don't fight on me.
Every time we want to fight, you want to kill us, don't you?
Apparently.
3, 4. Yeah, I think it downs me.
10, 19, 25,
You definitely have more HP.
34, 41.
41. Oh,
Do all except the 13 hit.
Oh, yeah, the 13 doesn't hit, so 35.
Only 35, nice.
Oh my god.
oh, I guess not then. I guess not.
Alan's turn.
What is your AC? Because you have plate armor, don't you?
Yeah, 18.
Oh, God.
Everything went right over.
It
what I
just
was doing.
rolled.
Oh, God. You got to give me a
Sorry,
second. I
yeah.
don't think about what I even have.
So what was it? 30 what?
35.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
Okay.
You guys basically watch Jake just get actually lifted off the ground this time by this thing as it just throws him around between each of its arms.
Oh man, you're gonna have to give me a second because I've never actually used any of my spells. Because the only other time we fought was like, the mosquitoes that just died in one hit. Actually, I haven't even bothered. No, I have bothered.
You're a warlock. Just Eldritch Blast everything in the face.
Well, no, I want to because after just seeing somebody get murdered for like a bajillion damage, I'm going to put armor on myself. Well, actually, that's the wrong thing. Just want to see armor. This one right here. Okay. Past that level. It's this one, armor.
Yeah.
Which
That's
would give me.
That's not. I mean, that's not really armor. It's temporary hit points.
Yes, but
And
that's what
causes damage. But yeah.
That's what I meant when I said armor. Just in a general term, not true AC. How much hit points would that give me? It would give me.
You cast it like what?
What level are you casting at?
At 3rd level, so it would be 15.
Yep.
15.
15, and then when
And it
something
also
hits
does
you, it
15
does
damage.
15.
Yeah, and I'm going to move back a little bit. So I'm going to move back to like about here. And then that's my turn.
Nez's turn.
I approach the monkey who is attacking Jake, and I'll use Stunning Strike on him.
Yep.
One tick.
Constitution.
However, I believe it's also with a weapon attack.
Oh, it doesn't
So
save
you
it
do
anyway.
have to hit first, I think.
Oh,
I
okay.
hit first, yeah. That's what I was.
I'll still use that roll whether you hit or miss.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I think that's a hit.
And
Good hits. And do the
And then you hit
damage.
spear in the chat box, and it brings up the damage.
Okay. Actually, wait. Is this the right one? Because sure, I'll just use this one.
He's got, one-handed and two-handed. So that's 13. And it is stunned until the end of your next turn. Okay, that's cool.
And I'll use my extra attack to also hit him. Try to. Well, that's probably unlikely.
Yeah, that's not a hit. 10's not hit.
Okay.
10 AC.
And with that, I also have a monk ability of. I believe I can also just hit him with an unarmed attack. One sec. Because I actually didn't really get to use that last time.
Flurry of blows.
Yeah. I know monks get like insane amounts of attacks, even compared to fighters.
Actually, I don't think it's flurry of blows. When you do, I believe it's part of the martial arts skill at the bottom. Monk weapon, you can make one unarmed strike as a bonus action. See?
Yep.
Bonus, so do it.
So yeah, you can make another unarmed attack.
Well,
which is,
come on!
solid miss. Bring
Wow,
us
I rolled a
to...
1 and a 2. That is surprising.
Is that your turn?
Yes.
bring us to Demikos.
Okay, so small question. With this meta magic, if I cast a first level spell at level 3, does it cost 3 sorcery points?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Because it's casting a 3rd level spell.
if I can, if I set this up to cast a 3rd level, so I will cast this at this one at this one,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Which is a fat miss.
which will then roll one of those.
Did you just wild surge?
And then,
Yeah,
And
he just wild surged.
but
Oh gosh, dude, wild mage,
wait,
wild mage.
wait a second there, because I was going to
Use your
twin
crystal.
spell and use the crystal. So do I roll twice on the table?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll just roll my second attack first, though.
Yeah. Make
and
the
this
attack
and
first.
and this one has to be at the other one.
Yeah.
So this one's at this one.
That's a hit. And 17. Nice. So yes, now
And then-
extra auxiliary effects taken, so roll your 2 wild surges.
And I have the table just here, 76 and 39. Okay, so 75, 76 is for the next minute. All your fire spells are cast as affected by the empowered spell meta magic.
Okay.
39 is
You cast death on yourself.
for the next hour, any metal you touch is affected as if by the heat metal spell.
Aw.
Pretty lucky. Pretty lucky there.
Is your wand metal or anything?
Yeah, that's what I'm just about to check, is how much metal you have on you and what you would be directly touching already.
That is a good question.
It turns out
I'm the metal
covered in
man.
metal armor.
Give me, say, odds or evens.
My
either-
spellcasting focus is my shard, my Stygia shard.
Yeah, your shard. But I'm
Odds.
odds. Okay, so odds something is touching you, evens something is not.
Okay.
So even. So yeah, luckily somehow like all your hammer and your crowbar and everything like that is just resting well enough that your hand doesn't brush up against them or anything. They might be packed deeper into your bag or not hanging off your bag for once. So you're lucky and don't burn yourself.
And now I need to look up what the empowered spell meta magic is.
Yeah, well that's for your next turn anyway. We'll go to Jake.
We
Unless
just
you
got
wanted to move.
destroyed.
No,
by
I
this
moved
guy.
at the start of my turn. I'm just going
Okay.
to look this up while
Yep.
everyone else has their turn.
Oh, Jake's turn now. You've basically just been like jostled and thrown around by this massive monkey that is very angry, but also looking really shaky on its feet currently after your monk kind of just walked up and tapped it in the stomach with his spear. I say tapped, but it was more of a completely rendered its stomach open.
I'm going to use Guiding Bolt at that 3rd level.
Yep.
Is it? Yep. And it gains 1d6 damage for each level above first. So do I roll those 2 1d6s separately?
You just cast the spell first, so click it on your sheet, cast it at 3rd level. And because I can't remember if Guiding Bolt is a guaranteed hit or if it's got to roll to
He's
attack.
got to roll. He is rolling at
Yeah.
advantage though,
And
because it's stunned.
yes, he is, because it's stunned, which is lucky he's rolling at advantage. So yes, now you hit the damage, so hit Guiding Bolt in the chat bar.
And I set it as 3rd level.
Yeah, it should pop up and ask you what you're casting it
Yeah.
as. Whoa.
Is that with the two 1d6s?
Yeah, that automatically. That's why I ask you what level you're casting at, so it automatically adds all the extra damage in. That's the higher level cast part of the thing, which you rolled 2 6s on. So yeah, bright flash from your mace. Is it your mace? Is your holy symbol?
Morning Star.
Yeah, your morning star. Bright flash from that as you kind of just tap the Scarillion in the center of its chest, and it kind of shudders at the bright light, and you pull your holy symbol away, and there's this bright burning mark on its chest. And anything else?
It compels you.
I've got a bonus action, don't I?
Yeah, you got bonus action and movement.
Our bonus action is healing word. Yeah. I'll cast it on myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, might be a good idea.
I guess it's 8. Oh, that's 20. I'll end my turn.
Riyadh's
All
turn.
right, we're gonna symbiotic entity on up, and then as a bonus action, we're gonna third level healing word on Jake. And that's me.
So Jake, another 12.
Mhm.
Okay, are people ready to weather the assault?
And on
Oh
its
gosh.
turn, we're going to Halo
Yep.
B's symbiotic entity.
So that takes 7. And then it unloads. 1 bite, 4 claws as the bee's biting
Oh.
it pisses it off.
Oh, I rolled so bad.
It did. 1 hit again, 2 hits again, I'm guessing?
No, I'm up to 19 with mage armor.
Wow, okay. No
Oh,
hits.
So good.
Ooh.
So like each of its fists is just like slightly coming short and just somehow being stopped by this force emanating from you as we
Brand's
go
like,
to
wow.
the second one's turn.
Ooh.
And it would probably bite in 2 claws against Jake.
Can it attack while stunned?
Wait,
Yes.
stunned.
Stunned creature
Stunned, a
is
stunned creature.
incapacitated.
Oh, incapacitated. Yes, sorry, I forgot you have to fucking double think. Can't take actions or reactions. So yes, it doesn't do anything. Never mind about those.
There's gearing up to give me another wallop again.
Bring us to Ullen's turn then.
Okay, I'm going to.
Goddamn status effects giving other status
so
effects. Just
good.
tell me in one status. Like I don't care if multiple statuses can't use
Reference
actions.
page.
Yeah, I don't want to have to flick through 3 different pages just to reference one incapacitation.
Am I reading the rules or a choose your own storybook?
Yeah, exactly.
Turn to page 151. But yes, I'll go on this one since it's getting close to dead. I'm gonna hit it with Hex, which means I guess I can just pull up the Hex spell, but that's just bonus damage whenever it takes damage from me, as a bonus action. And then I'm gonna hit it with, of course, Eldritch Blast.
Yes.
Which is that gonna hit?
14 hits, yes.
All right, and then
Yeah,
so
and
it
it's advantage
takes
anyway.
5 because I rolled 1, and then it takes the extra 4 bonus damage.
So that's
from
9.
Is
I think
Ultra
actually-
Fast the one that you get a second one
do.
at level 5?
Oh, you're right. I do.
So you can cast it again, I believe.
Does it have to be the same, different
It could be
targets, or
either.
only the same target?
Yeah.
Either or?
My,
I'll
it's
just hit
just
the
my
same
one
one
that
again.
has to be different.
It's basically
okay.
like a fighter's getting multiple attacks. It
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
I know. I
unload
just didn't
one
know
time.
if Elder Blast required you to hit different targets or something like
No.
that. Okay.
That's-
Then yeah,
that's
I would
what
hit
I'm
this
saying.
guy because that means he would take extra hex damage again.
Yep.
Which is 1d6 damage, which I don't.
I
So just
think you need to
extra.
make. Don't you need to make the attack again?
Yes.
You make a really good point. I do actually need to do that
Yeah.
again.
Because it's two separate attacks. Like I was saying, it's like
you're
a
right,
fighter
yeah,
with
I know.
their basic standard attacks and getting multiple of them. Yeah, that's
Well,
it.
that's gonna hit regardless.
Yeah.
So.
And does a lot more damage and actually kills it.
Oh.
So it gives one bellowing roar as it drops to the ground and stops moving. And Nezu's turn.
Pain, the
Okay,
suffering.
let's see. Or I guess here would be, since I can attack diagonals.
Mhm.
Okay, and I will attack with my spear.
It's a hit.
I will also add stunning strike on this one.
What's the DC for that again?
Good question. Actually, wait. Let's see. Stunning. One. It actually doesn't tell me because it says just do a Constitution. Is it going to be my key saving
Yes.
throw?
Yeah, that's what it'll be.
Oh, okay. So it would be 8 plus proficiency bonus plus wisdom. So that would be 14.
Yeah, no, so it fails it. So it is stunned.
A loser.
Now it just gets beaten to death. Yes, do your damage. Yep.
For the first attack, then second attack. Oop.
Yeah, there's a hit.
Man, +8 is like nuts.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
Damage is +7, but
then I'll use my bonus action once again just to use an unarmed attack.
Yep, that's a hit. Whoa.
You punch it for more damage than the spear does.
That's
And
the
by-
end game for Monk.
Yeah, and by this point, like blood's pouring out of basically any orifice it has. Its mouth, its nose, its ears. Like, you know, you've felt each of its ribs shatter under your knuckles as you struck it and everything. It's missing pieces. It's been stung by bees. It's barely standing by this point. As we go to Demokos's turn.
I do believe this may be the best course of action.
But you can't not cast Fireball if you have it.
Because
Yeah.
you can't not. But I'll cast it like just back
fuck
here
you,
to
Forrest.
miss these. and empowered spell
Fuck you, Camp.
does does this. So I'm gonna
Reroll the 1.
re-roll the one.
Yeah. Not that it's necessary by any point.
So that's 35 damage
So yeah,
to
to
the
say
thing that's almost dead.
to say that this thing turns to ash is an understatement. There's basically nothing existing of that monkey anymore, or that gorillion. That being
There's, like,
said,
outline of him on the
there
ground.
is not a lot much existing in this top half or top part of the map from Nezu and Riod forward. You have managed to catch basically everything on fire. And this I mean, it's enough that you guys decide to walk and pack up camp and probably keep moving away from said fire. It's not something you feel you can put out with a bucket or two of water. Because, jungle is very flammable, and fireball ignites flammable things.
So
And-
Bruce can
And
buy.
it's empowered.
I appreciate the assistance, Damikos, but could you stop setting the forest on fire, please?
The power of a demon lord does not know such thing.
Some restraint, perhaps? We could
What
learn
does he gotta do? What you gotta
together.
do?
You and I.
But yes, that was a good session. This would have been in the middle of the journey at some point, so by the time you guys reach the heart of Uptow again, I mean,
Wasn't it
You-
night
you-
though? Didn't you say we were doing this at night?
yeah, this was, and that's what I'm saying. Like you guys,
We walked
I mean,
through the night.
yeah,
We're hand waving
I mean,
several
you guys-
days.
yeah.
Oh, fair.
This happened, during the journey between the
That's fair.
ruins where you guys left and the heart where you guys are heading to now. That night you would have probably, I mean, not to say you guys wouldn't want to sleep in the middle of a raging forest fire, but I would assume you guys would, walk very quickly away from the raging fires.
Pitch my tent right next to.
Yeah. But we will pick
I
up
start
next
putting a
week.
piece of meat on a stick to roast.
Oh, yeah.
We will pick up
That was a
next
good
week
session,
back
though.
at the heart of Updale.
What happened?
Put us here.
I do gotta ask, though.
happened? You got
Like, it's definitely meta. But was the meeting with the Serac planned in the module, or is that one you just did?
No.
Okay.
No, that's just what I did. Drith's hideout, the Drow hideout and everything was just something I did as a side piece to throw at you guys
Oh, okay.
whenever I needed something to throw at you guys. And then I was having a think about it and I was like, yeah, these guys are kind of just going to be floundering for a bit until they get given a decent hook. And I was like, you know what? There is a big bad at the end of this module. I haven't really been hinting at him, and there's two ways you can do it. You can hint at the big bad, or you can have the big bad big ball and just come in and be like, sup.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to have him come in and just say sup. And I was tossing up whether to let you guys try and fight him and then him just basically, get you guys knocked unconscious and have his monologue.
You
Or
cast power and death on you and you just die.
yeah, like there was no way that you guys were going to die in that encounter. The whole point of him is that he wants you guys stronger in the future.
Yeah, he definitely is the kind of big bad to come and be like, hey, come find me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's literally in his notes that he is that personality, that he likes his adventurers to be more powerful than not, because it means more power for him when they die.
Yeah, but it was a good session.
And then just here I am, just trying to get everyone to go to our longer, and we're just not going there. No one trusts me.
Retire. Maybe we'll head there eventually.
Did you get my whisper earlier, Emerald?
Did you whisper to me? I don't think I ever saw it.
Yeah, I whispered to you a while back. When you
did
guys
you like-
were,
Yellow.
yeah.
Like, I did look, but I didn't notice it. Like, no, I don't think I got it.
Oh well, I definitely sent you a whisper.
Yeah. I don't... Like, was this when we got out of the...
It was.
Oh my
just-
god, you sent it at the very start. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't realize
It was.
that.
It was just before you guys looted Drith.
You should like PM me that stuff. I don't
Yeah, I'll Discord. I'll Discord those.
yeah,
sorts of
because
things,
I mute Roll20 and all that
fair
stuff.
enough.
So
Yeah,
I don't
well,
hear
I'll
about that.
Discord personal messages to you guys rather than whispers. These now.
Don't worry, I'll remember this.
But yes, I figured that might help you make minds up and everything, and you kind of weren't doing it, and I was like, she may not have seen it.
I didn't see it. My apologies.
All good. But no,
Is this something to help me get to where I want to go?
not exactly.
But yeah, like we said, it was a good session. I enjoyed it. I had a
Yeah.
fun time panicking and whatnot. Well, nobody else panicked. And telling you all to calm down. Always a fun one.
It's like I was never going to panic. My end goal was never to go to Ono. I had no clue what he was talking about.
But yeah, if you've been watching, thanks for watching. If you haven't been watching, you should be watching. I hope you all have a great day, and peace out. Bye-bye.